Oh, what you doing your hair, babe?
No, I'm fixing my hairstyle.
Oh, duh.
Yeah.
Are you washing your face, babe?
No, I'm taking my makeup off.
Oh, with the water.
Yeah.
Duh.
Right.
Wow, babe, I love that new watch.
Babe, this is not a watch.
Oh.
It's a wrist clock.
Oh, okay.
Everybody
okay.
knows that.
Right, my
Duh.
bad. Babe, I told you a million times I need you to take out the garbage.
Babe, why are you screaming?
I'm not screaming. I'm shouting.
Oh, duh.
Right. Babe, did you hear that Sister Smith got disfellowshipped?
Babe, we don't say disfellowship no more. The governing body said we call it removed.
Oh.
Duh.
Right.
Hey, y'all them Jehovah cult leaders? What?
Of course not.
We're the governing body.
What's going on, y'all? Y'all already know how this is gonna be. This is gonna be one of those episodes.
It's gonna be one of those. What is up, y'all? We are back again, and we're a little sorry because our title was definitely a little clickbaity. Okay, there is no end of disfellowshipping, but we will get into the manipulation of Watchtower once again. Man, we have been waiting to come in and talk about this, okay? But y'all know we were away, so we didn't get to come in as quick as we wanted to. But regardless, we're gonna put our little razzle dazzle on it.
Yep.
So this new Watchtower that has come out, let's just talk about that for a second because it's the August Watchtower, okay? September's Watchtower actually came out before the August Watchtower because they like took it back and then re-put it out with all of these updates. And I think we're just gonna go from the beginning to the end of what we wanted to talk about. The first thing that we noticed inside of this Watchtower was the marked talks. All right, let's take a look at it.
I can't think of the last time I read a Watchtower. This is like doing some homework for grown folks.
I know, right?
Yeah, I'm cool on this. This is deja vu. All right, so we're gonna go to page 7 of this Watchtower and the question from reader. So we'll pull that up and we'll read the first 2 paragraphs to start off. The Apostle Paul wrote to the Christians in Thessalonica saying, "If anyone is not obedient to our word through this letter, keep this one marked. Previously, we said that this was direction to the elders. If someone continued to ignore Bible principles in spite of repeated counsel, the elders might give a warning talk to the congregation. Thereafter, individual publishers would not socialize with the marked one. However, an adjustment is needed. As always, Paul's counsel evidently refers to an action that individual Christians should take under certain circumstances. So, there is no need for the elders to give a warning talk. Why the change? Consider Paul's counsel in its context."
Oh my gosh. So this is crazy, right? Because I'm going to be honest. I barely even knew about like marked talks. Like I knew it would happen sometimes, but I didn't even know it was like direct counsel really.
Yeah.
Like I thought it was just a thing that congregations did sometimes, you know, and they were being petty. But I didn't know it was like legitimate like direction. So the fact that they're even on here is crazy.
You know why?
Why?
Because I didn't know that either.
Elders manual.
Yup, and this is one of them things that it's like you don't learn this when you study.
No.
It's like some after the fact because it's a certain person that went to my Kingdom Hall that's like a famous he has like kind of like a show and stuff. And the first time I heard of a marked talk, they was like, "Hey, you know, so and so he getting marked or he got marked." It might have been afterwards because I missed that meeting. You know, he got marked. I'm like, "What's that?"
Right.
And they're like, it's when you mess up and they give a talk talking about you. So he got in trouble, you know, with women, usual stuff.
Right.
And of course, he told the brothers because he had been disfellowshipped, came back and got in trouble again.
Yeah.
And the brother mocked him. "Oh, you know, these brothers, they don't want to be accountable for their actions. It's the girls. I can't keep them off me." And the dude was in the audience because I believe they tell you ahead of time.
Yeah.
Let us know if I'm wrong, but they talk about me. They talk about me. Like he was pissed, and I missed that meeting. But that's the first time I heard like of a marked talk.
Yeah, and so the thing with the marked talk, which I also didn't know, is that like basically you're kind of supposed to treat them not like they're disfellowship, but you're not supposed to be completely socializing with them like as you used to. Like you're supposed to kind of wheel the reins in a little bit with your socialization with this person because they have been marked as some kind of bad association, okay? So let's see if anything has actually changed because they're obviously putting all of these new changes in, but has anything actually changed? No. Okay, but anyway, here's what the paragraph has to say. Today, if we notice a fellow Christian who shows such a disobedient spirit, for example, a fellow Christian might refuse to work to support himself, although able, might insist on courting an unbeliever, or might spread divisive talk or hurtful gossip, then we will make a personal decision not to associate with him for social occasions or recreation. Since this is a personal decision, we would not discuss it with others outside of our immediate family, and we would still associate with that individual at our meetings and in our ministry. When he corrects his course, we would then resume normal association.
This is that stuff of putting stuff in invisible categories and bubbles.
Yes.
All right, I'm only going to talk to you on on Tuesday and Sunday.
Yeah.
But I ain't going to talk to you Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday because the devil might use his works on me on those days.
But the truth is, nothing has changed because that's how March 1s were treated beforehand. It's not, unless they weren't able to talk to them at the congregations, but at that point, they need to be disfellowshipped, right?
I agree.
Okay, so anyway, this is just so crazy because they obviously have not actually changed anything about this teaching or situation that they had going on. They're still telling their followers, which... If anybody who's not a Jehovah's Witness, like, let me explain something. When you're a Jehovah's Witness, they are very strong in community. That is what attracts a ton of people. So with that being said, it's like you're constantly having different parties and get-togethers because
you're not allowed to do nothing else.
Yeah, so they don't want you to feel any lack when it comes to holidays or birthdays or anything like that. So they have a lot of get-togethers, okay? That's what people end up really missing about being Jehovah's Witnesses is the community aspect of it, right? Even though it was fake.
It was very fake.
So basically, they're saying it's your individual decision. Don't talk about it with anybody outside of your immediate family.
It's always talk. This is the problem with this organization. They always have levels in the organization to where you're going to be looked at a certain way depending on where you at, regardless of the rules. And what they're doing now, they're just remixing the same thing.
The same exact
That's all it is.
thing.
And the people are so brainwashed, they're like, we got new light. No, you didn't.
That part. So another thing that they have changed is what they call the Judicial Committee. It's not called the Judicial Committee anymore.
According to them.
Let's see what it says.
All right, so we are going to page 21, and we're going to start with paragraph 4 in the footnote to bring it out. All right, so here it says, when someone in the congregation commits a serious sin, the body of elders select 3 qualified brothers from among them who will serve as a committee. Footnote, in the past, these groups were called judicial committees, but since judging is only one aspect of their work, we will no longer use that expression. Instead, we will simply refer to this group as a committee of elders.
Are you kidding me?
Which goes to our intro video.
It's the same
it's the
things.
same thing.
Like, it is the same things, and they're trying to act like they're making these changes that are like so astounding. It's not. You went from being called a judicial committee to a committee of elders. But you do the same thing that you did before.
You know what this remind me of?
What?
The law enforcement, which was the slave patrol. We're not gonna call it that no more, but we're gonna do the same thing. It's just come on now, and people really fall for that stuff.
Yeah, they literally are like, you know what? I think Mama Shai is the one who, Mama Shai messaged me. This is one of our friends, okay, that helped wake us up. Wake you up. But anyway,
for sure.
She was like, have you seen like what is going on? This literally reminds me of like a business and them changing their policies, but nothing actually is really changing.
Right.
And that's facts. That's literally what they're doing.
It's
they are
true.
so manipulative.
And it only works on, I'm going to try to pick my words lightly, bozos. For anybody else, it's like, okay,
what's the
are
difference?
we doing?
Yeah, what are we doing here?
But that's what happens when you don't ask questions.
Yeah.
You never ask, all right, what's the difference? You just, okay.
And I would like to know what is fueling this. I think, you know what, we'll talk about this at the end once we discuss like all of the changes, because we'll just talk about it at the end, what I believe is fueling it.
Yeah, because we notice a pattern on what causes changes.
That part. All right.
Now we're going to do something taboo in the Watchtower. We're going to skip down. Because this is like an hour long. You remember it was an hour long thing, just paragraph, a million questions answered. Yeah, so we go into the juicy parts. Page 24, paragraph 18. What about baptized minors? Those under 18 years of age who engage in serious wrongdoing. The body of elders will arrange for 2 elders to meet with the minor and his Christian parents. Footnote, what is said about parents also applies to the legal guardians or others who have parental responsibility for a minor. Back to the paragraph. The elders will find out what steps the parents have already taken to help their child come to repentance. If the minor has a good attitude and the parents are reaching him, the 2 elders might decide that it is not necessary to take matters any further. After all, it is the parents' God-given responsibility to provide loving correction to the children. The elders will thereafter occasionally check with the parents to make sure that the minor is getting the help he needs. However, what if a baptized minor unrepentantly persists in the wrong course? In that case, a committee of elders will meet with him along with his Christian parents. You know what they might end up doing down the line?
What?
Putting an age limit on baptism.
They should.
They should.
It should be an age limit. And you know what? I do remember them having this update in there. Was it in their just plain jw.org update whenever they were talking about this? But now it's just shown in writing. Before they just had the video about it, and of course it was shortly after the Norway case and them losing.
When it comes to this minor stuff.
Yes, exactly. And that's when the update came out, and so now they have it somewhere in writing. But it's the same thing that they said then. And to be honest, like, I want to know, what if the minor doesn't have Christian parents?
For real.
Like, what happens then? You know they're always trying to search for little loopholes and stuff, you know? Like, then is it their study, like the person that studies with them? Like, who does it turn to then?
I didn't even think of that, because if this person parents ain't with this stuff, you're not about to come to their house investigating.
Right, exactly. And they're probably not going to be okay with that either, you know?
Right.
But then again, maybe they wouldn't get baptized if they're not, if they're not kids of Christian parents. Yeah.
I can see that. There's no telling.
Yeah, there's not. But see, before, they were able to disfellowship
Kids.
Kids. Like, I had a friend that was 16 and got disfellowship. That's crazy. And there's people that are younger than that. Even Ava, she was telling us her story. I don't know how young her son was, but I know it was for something silly.
For being young. And kids should not be getting baptized into this lifelong contract of this organization. That's ridiculous. Kids don't know what they want.
Exactly, and not when it has this kind of like disciplinary actions to where you can be shunned by your whole family and friends.
Exactly.
Now we get into the juicy part.
Let's see what we got in store.
Into the thick of it. I do believe that this is a different study session within this Watchtower, but we are going to look on page 27, paragraph 4. And has disfellowshipping really been done away with? Question mark.
Let's see what they talking about in here.
Okay, so paragraph 4. When an unrepentant wrongdoer is removed from the congregation, an announcement is made to inform the congregation that he is no longer one of Jehovah's Witnesses. All right, we will no longer refer to such ones as being disfellowshipped. In harmony with Paul's words recorded at 1 Corinthians 5:13, we will now refer to them as being removed from the congregation. The purpose of that announcement is not to humiliate the wrongdoer. Rather, it's made so that congregation can follow the scriptural admonition to stop keeping company with that person, not even eating with him. That direction is given for good reason. The Apostle Paul wrote, "A little leaven ferments the whole batch of dough." Unrepentant wrongdoers can weaken the determination of those who are trying to live by Jehovah's righteous standards.
Didn't they just use the scripture to say that's for apostates?
Yes.
They crook, and this only people that
We literally made a video about it.
literally. So the only people that will catch on to this is the people that woke up and know it's a cult. But
Yeah.
the people in it are so brainwashed they can't realize they said this used to apply to disfellowship people.
Yes.
But now it applies to apostates.
Yes.
But we also gonna use this.
For people who are removed. Babe, I'm so glad that you remembered that.
That's
If
crazy.
we can find the clip, maybe we'll insert it in here.
Jehovah wants you to come home, and we do too. In keeping with the scriptural admonition at 1 Corinthians 5:11, when a person has been removed from the congregation, we stop keeping company with that person, not even eating with such a man. That means we don't socialize with those who are removed from the congregation. However, that does not mean that a Christian could not invite a disfellowship person to attend a congregation meeting. That disfellowship person could be a relative, a former Bible student, or someone we were close to in the past. If anyone comes to you and does not bring this teaching, do not receive him into your homes or say a greeting to him, for the one who says a greeting to him is a sharer in his wicked works. But doesn't 2 John 9-11 tell us not to say a greeting to anyone who's been removed from the congregation? In examining the context of those verses, the governing body has concluded that the Apostle John was really describing apostates and others who actively promote wrong conduct. For good reason, John strongly directed Christians not even to greet such a person because of his contaminating influence. Therefore, if a disfellowship individual is a known apostate or someone who actively promotes wrongdoing, the elders would not visit him. Neither would individual Christians greet such a person or invite him to attend a congregation.
Oh, now. This feel like we're watching a comedy skit watching this stuff now.
But we literally talked about this because in the update, they had the update on video, they had started really like doubling down on the whole apostate thing. And that's whenever they were like, oh, now you can say hello to disfellowship people if they come to the Kingdom Hall and like, you know, a small greeting or whatever, which was not the case beforehand. And they said that this scripture actually referred to apostates.
Out their mouth.
Yes. So now we are doubling back and saying basically it still is for disfellowship people because they're saying they're no longer using the term disfellowship. Now they're just going to say removed from the congregation. But it's the same freaking thing.
Talking about that way we don't humiliate the person. You are humiliating this. You are getting on top of this platform from a room full of people. And people already have stage fright as is. So you getting on stage, it gets real quiet because they go, Brother Jones is going to give an announcement. And everybody, all snaps.
Something happened.
What happened? Because everybody knows when you get disfellowship 9 times out of 10, it's for the same thing. Yeah. But regardless, you did something bad, something that's going to get you shunned. So they announce your name in front of everybody to let everybody know you did something bad in a place where bad ain't supposed to happen. Yeah. It don't matter how you word it. Disfellowship, shun, remove, the boot, up through Skilarooski. It don't matter how you word it, you humiliating this person by letting everybody know their business.
And at the end of the day, you still want the same outcome to happen. You still want the congregation to shun the person.
Exactly.
It doesn't it doesn't matter if you're using the term disfellowship or remove. The outcome is the same.
Now we covered the whole disfellowshipping thing. Yep. Now let's look at the reinstatement process.
Right.
Coming up. So here is paragraph 7, and we'll tie this in with the part after, and it'll all come together. Yeah. So just in this section at the bottom of paragraph 7, in imitation of Jehovah, Christian elders genuinely want the wrongdoer to return, and they do not make it difficult for him to do so.
Boom.
Remember that.
Yes, remember that. We're going to jump right into the next one that we have here on page 30. And we can crop it too, but anyway. Okay, so if we look here on, actually it's page 29, and it's going to be paragraph 11. Here it says, in imitation of Jehovah's compassion, the elders want to reach out and help as many as possible to know that the door is open for them to come back. When a sinner manifests repentance and abandons his wrong course, he can be reinstated without delay. Listen, this is like loaded language, okay, in JW world, because what this means is that it's going to be a lot easier for people who have been disfellowshipped to come back. Whereas before, it like was rare for people to come back like within 6 months.
Yeah,
and it's,
definitely.
Right?
Yeah.
And it seems like maybe going forward, that's going to be something that's more normal to come back quick.
Desperate. That's what it sounded like. Because it took me, I got reinstated in 13 months, but I turned in 3 letters and it was about to turn to my 4th.
Yeah.
And they just randomly asked me if I was ready to come back. But
Exactly.
it was not easy unless you went to one of them halls where they pick and choose. Because I remember one girl at this congregation called Miamisburg, they was known for having the most laid back elders to let everything slide.
Yeah.
Back then, if you got pregnant, you was disfellowshipped off the rip. This girl got pregnant. I think she was disfellowshipped. If not, she was reproved. But I'm pretty sure that was the girl that got disfellowshipped. She was back in under 6 months.
Yep, that happened.
Yep.
And that used to be like a rare occurrence. But it seems like now, since they have put this Watchtower out, that maybe it's going to be something that's going to happen more frequently,
Yep.
is to allow people to return without giving them as much fuss. Because I know so many of you guys probably have stories of either people that you know or yourselves where it took you a long time to get back and turning in multiple letters and things like that. So that's
Yeah.
probably going to be a thing of the past. I guess we'll see.
Yep, they're getting desperate.
They are. And I did want to point out, because we noticed here in paragraph 12 too, that it says, okay, in certain circumstances, the elders need to be especially careful before reinstating someone. For example, if a person was guilty of child abuse or apostasy, or if he schemed to end a marriage, the elders will want to be sure that he is truly repentant. That's very interesting that they're actually putting out child abuse and apostasy.
And the problem is, this where they kind of screwed themselves up. If a person got disfellowship for child abuse, why didn't they go to jail?
Exactly.
Why did they get disfellowship? And this is, like, they shouldn't even put this in this article, because now this just confirms what the court's already talking about.
Exactly. And they're supposed to be like mandated reporters, you know, because they're a religion. Like it should be that way. But anyways, this is just crazy what's coming out here. And even them saying that they can, you know, reinstate like an apostate. I honestly didn't know that was a thing. Like,
it
obviously.
Because of Jerron. Shout out to Jerron.
You know what? We had a bunch of people in our comments though that said I was an apostate and I got reinstated and stuff. I just don't think that they did it publicly. Like, Jerron, you know, Jerron did it with intent to be like, y'all are wrong. Y'all obviously don't have God's
Holy Spirit and all
God's
that.
Holy
Yeah, because I got back as an apostate.
Yes,
explain that.
right.
And all, like, it's just weird how we understand why they put apostates in the category with child abusers.
Like, come on. Man.
They got them folks that brainwashed, like, oh, it's neck and neck.
Yeah.
No, one is wrong and one is right. Completely right. Just people saying this ain't the truth. I'm out. Y'all are tripping and wasting y'all time. This is somebody doing something positive.
Yeah.
And they gonna categorize that with somebody doing something negative.
Wait, but notice too that they put in the point about somebody scheming to end a marriage. That has obviously been a problem, okay? Because everybody has known somebody who has like schemed to end their marriage. Because you can only get a scriptural divorce under certain circumstances. So people get creative and they're like, okay, well, I'm just gonna go and cheat if that's the only way that I can get out of this divorce. And then they'll go ahead and get in trouble and then be able to like remarry or whatever. Even though they say you can't remarry if you're the one who cheated. But like, be serious, you know?
Yeah, that's and I remember it was a situation like that back in Ohio. Somebody had did that and they told the elders ahead of time, like, I hate this marriage. I want out. You can't do that. Well, this one I'm about to do. So if y'all gonna disfellowship me, do it. And when handle their business and went on from there.
Yep,
But yeah,
that's how
people,
it
you can't
goes.
force people to be in marriages they don't want to be in.
Exactly.
This is with that.
And then through the rest of this Watchtower, they kind of italicize like words like remove, reprove, and to not socialize. Like they have italicized the word remove since there's no longer use of the word disfellowship.
Like it makes a difference.
It doesn't.
Right. That's bogus right there. But that's kind of wrapping up some of these so-called changes, as they call it, in Watchtower.
Oh.
Let us know what y'all think, because I know everybody got a lot of backlash going on right now, and I'm sure family members is calling people that been inactive and all that, or just fellowship to be like, hey, here's the new update, and you just looking at, they don't realize these updates piss everybody off that's not witnesses no more, because it's like y'all playing with people.
Yep, you're playing with people, literally.
For
we
real.
actually have this like troll that's on our Instagram page who is a Jehovah's Witness, and he told us to check this Watchtower out, and I'm like, oh, we did already.
I think we should insert a clip on what he says in our messages.
Oh my god, it's so funny.
Okay, about me. And let me tell you something. The people in Noah's day, when it came to Noah, they thought that he was a clown too. They all did. They laughed. They talked about him. They talked about him. They talked about his family. They was like, rain, it's not gonna rain. Where's the rain? And it took Noah years to build that ark. Years. And once the building of that ark was complete and it started to rain and it didn't stop, how much of a clown do you think those people thought Noah was then? Because right then and there, they were, just like the name of your YouTube channel is, they were awakened to the truth. Awakened to the truth. Have a good day.
And on that note,
Have a good day.
You sounded like you giving a comment. Anyways, to wrap this video up, make sure y'all go in that description, purchase the Healing Journal. You can get the Pimo version in case you got to hide what you're reading, or just the Rebuilding from a Cult journal. It's the exact same thing on the inside. So, disclaimer, it's not a Jehovah's Witness book or nothing like that. It's actually the first chapter to talk about what it's like being a witness. And then after that, it's about healing. Because a lot of people, we learn, they get out this and then they get stuck or they get lost because they're like, I don't know what to do.
Yeah.
I don't know what I'm good at. I don't know who I am. And this just helps.
We've been through it.
We've been there. So this is the steps. It's like, this is how you find out who you are. Even like financial advice, things like that. We won't spoil too much.
Yeah.
And then we have our Instagram at Awaken Troops IG. Follow that. We just made our TikTok and we about to get that in motion. So go on and follow us on there too. And that's at Awaken Troops LLC. And last but not least,
don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and we will catch you guys in the next one.
peace.
Awakened to the truth. Awakened to the truth. Have a good day.